Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're joined by Josh Koroma, ahead of our trip to Leyton Orient. We'll start with Catherine Hannah from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you very much. Afternoon, Josh. Good to have you back in the first team picture after your back injury. How are you feeling at the moment?
My chest is still catching up. Obviously, it was out for a month or so got to get back up to full fitness. But my back feels good. Obviously, started on Saturday, we won. So that's a positive, and look to go again Tuesday.
Must have been so frustrating because you were absolutely flying, scoring lots of goals, and then suddenly have that spell on the sidelines. How do you go about dealing with that?
It's never nice to obviously be injured. I was in a good run of form. But I mean, when I was out, the team picked up some good results, I feel like. And now I'm back, I just hope I can help them, and we can win more games.
There is good competition for places up front as well. Did you worry that, unfortunately, because you've had to have that spell out of the team, it might be difficult to get back in again?
As a player, you always want to play, but I mean, it's a good thing that obviously the strikers are playing well, because it means we'll obviously score goals and win games. And coming back in, I just want to help the team any way I can, whether that's coming off the bench or starting. I just do whatever I can to support the team.
Michael Duff has said in previous conversations that of all the strikers at the club, you've actually been the one to really stake your claim for that number 9 shirt and be the out-and-out goal scorer. How close do you feel you are at the minute to getting back up to that level where you were at the start of the season?
I definitely think it will come. Obviously, on Saturday was my first start in over a month, so I mean, it's just getting back into the swing of things, get back rolling. I mean, we have a good team. I know I'm going to get chances. Didn't get many on Saturday, but again, like I said, if we win every game and it means I'm not scoring, as long as we win, that's all I really care about.
And the difficulty has been that there's been so many injuries to contend with, whether it's been yourself or other people in the team. You've never really been able to establish that settled front two. How difficult has that been to contend with?
That's part of football. I mean, sometimes you have a season where a lot of your players get injured, and other times you have seasons where no one gets injured. It is obviously you want to find the right partnerships within not just strikers, midfield, defenders. You want to build cohesion, but I feel like any of the frontmen I play with all do different things well, and I think all of us work well together. We have a good striking group here. So I don't think we read into who's playing with who. I think whoever's playing enjoy playing with each other, and we will just work together.
Yeah, so there's no obvious recipe for who's alongside you, is there? It's just working out the dynamic, whoever it is that you're playing alongside.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cal does things different to Wardy, Bojan does different things to both of them, Reece does different things to me. So it's just about whoever's out there, you know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and it's just about working together.
You go to Leyton Orient tomorrow night. Again, on paper, you're right up there in the playoff positions. They've had a more difficult start to the season, but have picked up a couple of results. How much of a challenge are you expecting them to be?
I think every game in this league is a challenge. I think, as you've seen, we've picked up results against teams that are higher up in the table and lost to teams that are lower down. So I don't think it really matters where you are in the league, because anyone can beat anyone. So we'll go into the game like we're playing someone who's top of the league, and we expect to win, of course, but we know it's not going to be easy.
It's a difficult balance, isn't it? Because in some ways, you have every right to go there with that arrogance. You're expected to be right up there this season. So do you have to have a little bit of that? Well, as you say, accepting that every team is going to pose their own challenges.
For sure. I mean, for me personally, I think we've got one of the best teams in this league. So I'll always go into games with certain arrogance, expecting us to win. I mean, that's just how football works. You don't ever think you're going to go into a game and lose. But no matter who we're playing in this league, whether they're bottom of the league or top of the league, I think we can go there and win. It doesn't matter who, so yeah.
And finally, you build up a nice little run, 6 unbeaten in the league now. Do you feel that you're starting to get that momentum after such a bright start, then a bit of a dip, but now this is what this Huddersfield Town team's going to be all about this season?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Obviously, we started the season amazingly well, and then we had a little dip of form, which ain't ideal, but we'd rather the dip in form come then than in January, December, when we've got loads of games coming thick and fast. So now we've picked up form. Hopefully the form can continue and we can continue to get wins.
Yeah, and a good away win would be nice in the league as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. We talk about making our home ground a fortress, but if you expect to get out of this league, you need to have good points on the road as well, and it'll be a good start on tomorrow if we get that.
Best of luck tomorrow night. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Cheers, Catherine. We'll just come to Stephen Chicken from the Terriers.
Hi, Josh. Good to see you again. Just a quick one from me. Can you talk to us about Sierra Leone? Obviously, you've been playing for them this year, and excellent achievement to go and represent on the international stage. How are you finding it, and how does it change your outlook? In your club football, has anything changed for you?
When I go out there, I play a different position to what I play here, so it allows me to see football from obviously a different position, and it's a different kind of football, different style of football. Of course, playing out in Africa is different to playing football in England. You get to go to different countries, meet different kinds of people. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it at the moment. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to qualify for AFCON, but we still got the World Cup qualifiers. And, I mean, it's a work in progress, but, yeah, it's a great experience.
Does it give you sort of a different outlook on things as well? Sort of, knowing that you've got your place in the national team squad to play for, and being able to sort of get away from the club a bit as well, and have a bit of time away from the grind of that sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, it's nice. Obviously going away and playing for your country, and I mean you get to see. So I don't think I'd ever been to countries that I'm traveling to now to play football. So that's an amazing experience within itself. Obviously, like I said, we're improving as a team, like the national team. But yeah, man, it's just good to travel around, see different people, see the world, see different places.
Nice one. Cheers for that. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much, everybody. We will speak to you tomorrow.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day. shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Pleased to be joined by head coach Michael Duff. Now we'll start again with Catherine Hannah from BBC Radio Leeds.
Thank you very much. Afternoon. Only one place to start, really, which was the injury news from Saturday. Can you give us an update on Rhys Healey and Matty Pearson, please?
Not really, no. They're going for scans today, so until we get the results of the scans. They don't both look great. Rhys looks like a significant calf injury. And Matty, we're still not sure. He's got a couple of sensations with his ankle and his foot. So again, until we get the scan, you can speculate, and we'll just deal with whatever the radiologists tell us. So we'll get that in the next 24, 48 hours. So it doesn't look great. They won't be travelling this week.
They must both be incredibly frustrated because they've both had injury issues to contend with already this season. Not ideal.
No, it's not. Matty in particular has been a standout player since he's got in the team, in terms of character, defensively, and goals. Rhys, he's just been, he's had real frustrations, and it's, it's tough for him. Footballers don't like being injured, and he just can't seem to catch a break. There's no consistency to the injuries. It's a different area. We've looked into it, so we'll just have to support him the best we can, because of course we want him on the pitch, but he wants to be on the pitch as well. So we need to make sure that he's all right in himself now, as well as getting him fit.
Leyton Orient tomorrow then. They've picked up a couple of results lately, held Stevenage to a draw, didn't they, at the weekend? So what are you expecting from them? Tough
game. Last two home games, beat Rotherham, beat Blackpool 3-0. Blackpool did that to us here. The result on Saturday, in terms of people think that Huddersfield fans would think I just sit here and say every week it's a tough game. If you're not at it at this level, that's what happens. Birmingham go to Shrewsbury, have not won a game. They got pumped in the last home game, and then they go and beat the standout favourites for the league. So if you're not quite at it in this league, you'll get hurt. Now we found that out already ourselves this season already. So we're hoping that we keep chipping away at the same old things that I keep going on about, but it's what you've got to keep doing. We've shown a little bit more consistency. I think we're unbeaten in 6 now. So yeah, it'll be a tough game. I know Richie really well. He used to live in the same village as me in Manchester. So we crossed paths in terms of when I was at Cheltenham, he was at Salford and Swindon, and then at Barnsley when he was at Doncaster. So I know him really well. His teams want to play good football. He's done a brilliant job down there. I don't think anyone expected them to get out of the league when they did. That's the second time he's done that. So he's got pedigree. He plays good football. They've got some decent players, but we have to make sure that we're right mentally as well as tactically.
Is it sometimes easier to play against a side who want to play football as opposed to a side who want to put everybody behind the ball?
I think it's every game poses different challenges. Whether it's formations, the style of play, the conditions, it's away from home on a Tuesday night. So that you just try and come up with the best solutions, pick the best team, and give the players the right solutions that if they do this, then we can counteract that. If they do that, we do this. And ultimately, we've got to try and impose our game on them. I think we can mix it up quite well. I think Saturday showed that. Charlton were pretty direct and we dealt with that pretty well, but we play some good football at the same time. So it's trying to get a balance of how we want it to look.
As you say, it's a difficult balancing act in that, on paper, Huddersfield Town right up in the playoff positions, they're much lower down the league. You don't want to take anything for granted, but actually, you want your players to go with a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of swagger as to, we should be beating them? Or
no, I don't think we can go there thinking we should beat them. I think we've proved this season already. I go back to the 2 home games that we've lost. Everyone just assumed, right, we just beat Bolton, we'll win the next 2 games. Bang, bang, you haven't got a game, we've been thumped twice. So one thing the players have learned, hopefully, is that we need to go there with a swagger and an arrogance that we're a good team, but knowing why we're a good team is the key. So because we rock up thinking, well, they're in the bottom four, we're in the top six, we'll beat them. It'll be a long journey home. So, and that's that. That's the message. When we're at it, we've been a good team, but we've shown too many inconsistencies, whether that's week to week or in games as well. I thought Saturday we were pretty good for the full 90 minutes in really testing difficult conditions. So that's hopefully a start. But yeah, so it's the balance of having that sort of believing that you're a good team, but also having the humility to go that no, we need to dig in, fight, scrap, run to allow all the quality to come out.
You mentioned 6 unbeaten now. Home form's fantastic as well at the moment. Having started the season so well, then a bit of a blip, do you feel that things are slightly more on an even keel now, and this is the kind of form that hopefully you'll be able to maintain from now until the end of the season?
I think since the Tamworth game, I think we've been a lot better in terms of consistency. Like you said, we had a brilliant start and then a horrible run, but you do find things out in those types of runs. So if it was to happen again, I think we'll have a little bit more of an idea why. Whereas sort of you find out on the job, things are happening in front of your eyes before, and you're like, where's that come from? Where's that come from? We don't think we've got all the answers. But no, we're hoping to show, again, we go back to the day-to-day habits, the consistency in the behaviours that will always play out in the end. The best teams train the best team have the best habits, as well as the best players. It's not always the best players that get promoted. We've just been relegated. You go through the leagues and teams that have been relegated, it's tough. You look at the Championship, Luton are struggling. You look at our league, Rotherham are struggling. You look at League Two, I can't remember someone else who's really struggling down the bottom that got relegated last year. I looked the other day. Can't think, it's not that important. But so it's hard to shift that mentality. And that's the thing we're chipping away at whilst trying to win games. And I think I said it after the game the other day, I think we're showing a few more signs of a little bit more consistency in everything that we do.
One of the other things I picked up from your conversation with Oggy after the game on Saturday was that you want your teams to be ruthless, and that sometimes on the pitch it's not a place to be nice. How do you kind of coach that, if you like?
Again, it's day-to-day habits. It's wanting to win every day. I remember a long time ago, I went to a friend of mine's birthday who was a player, and Ben Foster was there. And Ben was talking about his time at Man United, and he said he hated it. He said because he couldn't cope with the intensity of having to win. Now, Ben was an unbelievable goalkeeper who had a top career. But the reason why he never quite made it at Man United is because that intensity and that drive every single day, because that was the standards that they had at the time in teams of people like Gary Neville and Roy Keane and Paul Scholes and those types. So you're trying to embed that into the group. So, I think I nearly ran down the left wing at one point when Mikel was thinking about kicking it out of play. So, but yeah, just trying to educate them why, and it's not to be. I want them all to be decent people. Part of the job is trying to create decent people, but there is a moment when you've got someone by the neck, you've got to strangle them, and that's the bit, the killer instinct. First bit we've got to do is get into that position, then see people off. And again, I end up repeating myself when these games come thick and fast, but that's a day-to-day thing. Having an edge in training, being competitive every day, whether it's tiddlywinks, whether it's a gym session, whether it's a two-touch head tennis, whatever, create a winning mentality.
Last one, as you say, the games do come thick and fast. Now, unfortunately, however you look at it, you have got a free weekend coming up. Does that have any bearing on your team selection for tomorrow night, knowing that you do then have that little gap coming up?
No. We'll pick the best team, as we will every week. It might factor in on the Saturday game with a third game in a week, but the fact that we don't have that, we'll be in at the weekend. The players aren't getting rewarded for getting beat by Tamworth, so I can assure the supporters of that they're not getting a weekend off. I think it sends the wrong messages that we embarrass ourselves and the club at Tamworth, and they get rewarded with a weekend off, so that won't be happening. They'll be in working.
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank you, Catherine. It was Carlisle that's been struggling.
There you go.
Stephen from the Art Terriers, next up, please.
Important clarification. Hi, Michael. sort of touched on it already, but obviously Matty, his goals have been massive. He obviously scored again before he went off on Saturday. Do you feel, particularly with the centre forward still sort of, trying to find a formula there, do you feel you can replace Matty's goals? Are there others that are going to step up to that?
Well, Mish was top goal scorer last year, so hopefully he can step in. Ultimately, centre halves aren't in the. It's great that they're chipping in, but the centre forwards are in the team to score goals. So without labouring the point and putting pressure on them, and I've had this conversation with them, that's the job. So Matt is great in both boxes. I think Misha got double figures last year, so hopefully he can chip in there. But we need the centre forwards to come to the party. The last 2 or 3, 4 weeks, it's been a set play and a midfielder. So if we can add goals from the centre forward positions, and we think we've got some good players, it's just trying to find the right combination, and for them to go, like I said, take the shirt.
Yeah, we did notice on Saturday a couple of times, Herbie Kane having a word with the centre forwards and doing exactly what you talked about a couple of weeks ago about, players having a word with each other, reminding each other of the responsibilities. Do you feel past few games you've seen more of that from players? Do you think it's sinking in?
Little by little, like I said, I think the consistency is becoming more consistent. They're knowing their roles and responsibilities more as well. So there's also that Herbie's a little bit different because obviously he'll know his roles. He's worked with me quite a long time.
Yeah.
So because he knows his role, he'll then you start. That's the relationship building way. Well, if I'm here, you should be there, and it's telling that player that they might not recognise or realise that they should have been in that certain position, whatever it is. And again, that's the time bit that people always talk about in football and relationship building, and building the trust that if I roll out here, I want to play around the corner. I need you to feet, or if the weight of ball comes to me here, you've got to be spinning in behind. So, yeah, it's good that they're starting to hold each other accountable. And like I said last week, it's not always a telling off. People just assume that that's leadership, and it isn't. It's finding a way to get the best out of each other and the players.
And I'm going to ask this: do you have anyone back available for tomorrow that's not been in the side lately?
No, no new injuries other than the 2 obvious ones, but no one back. I think we're still 2 or 3 weeks away. We've got people on the grass now getting fitter and fitter, so they're not injured, so to speak. Now it's sort of heart and lungs fitness and getting them football ready.
Lovely. Thank you. That's all from me.
Cheers, Stephen. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.